This is Ian Wright and Gary Neville and Roy Keane.
Jamie Carragher, Wayne Rooney as well.
And Wayne Rooney discussing tea.
I used to want to go to my friend's house for tea because we never had tea.
Do you understand what tea is?
No, that's what I'm telling you.
Okay, so
it's just another word for dinner.
It's dinner at 5 o'clock for northern people from sort of Lancashire.
Right.
You'd have
For
tea.
my kids now, will have as soon as they get home from school, they'll have the tea.
And what can you have with the tea? Just like toast and tea or
No,
cake?
it's not tea.
No, it's a dinner. It's an actual dinner.
It's not tea. It's dinner, but it's at 5 o'clock.
They're calling it tea for then. I'm just confused, bro. I'm not even joking.
There we go. This is an ongoing discussion in our house. I'm without children. My wife's a Swansea girl, always refers to what I would call dinner as tea.
Yeah, I'm the same.
My children now refer to it as tea, and I always pick them up and explain that it's dinner.
Do you use the word supper?
No.
The word supper makes me cringe. It makes my spine cringe from inside to out.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Okay, go on.
I hate
Supper means different things depending on your socio-economic class.
Okay.
So if you're posh, supper means it's your evening meal, your dinner. If you're working class or from a working class background, it means like basically a bowl of Weetabix in front of Newsnight.
Okay. Yeah.
So my evening meal would be tea. I must admit, probably since going to university, it used to be breakfast, dinner and tea. And now it is breakfast, lunch and tea. So I won't...
See, mine's breakfast, lunch and dinner.
I would go out for dinner. So if we were going to a restaurant, at 7 p.m, I would.
We've been through
describe that as
various.
going out for dinner.
I said to Kelly, yeah, but it's called packed lunch. She said, yeah, but it's called a school dinner. I said, yeah, good point.
Yeah, the dinner thing, I made that change at university because
we've never had tea. My nans would have a Sunday tea. So at my nan's house on a Sunday would be a big Sunday dinner at about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, which we never did in the week.
Yeah.
And then about 4 o'clock would be Sunday tea, which would be like Mr. Kipling's French fancies, Welsh cakes, scones, blancmange, apple crumble, etc., custard.
Yeah.
Right? And a fucking, like a whole loaf of white bread, buttered, right? But that was Sunday tea, I got that. But in the week. So Ian Wright, he's not as a lad who grew up in London, like you said.
Oh, he's not posh. It's just his background. It's like Andrew Mensah, who I did Fancy Football League with, is the same. He's Ghanaian parents growing up on a housing estate in Greenwich in South London. So he's not posh by any stretch of the imagination. But he just has different cultural.
So Ian Wright says
I
to get asked to, my white friend would say, "You'd have to go home now. We're having our tea." And he doesn't know what tea is.
And he says, "I can watch you drink tea, mate."
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
And I was like, "Do you not know what tea is?" Because that's what I'm fucking telling you. I don't know what tea is. Yes, I don't know what tea is. But then Neville as well. So he's on about he comes home and he'd have his tea.
4 or 5 when we got home from school, and then we'd literally have chippy supper.
So what do you have for your supper?
Yeah.
Chips and gravy, chips and curry.
Supper?
Yeah. 7:30, yeah. Unbelievable.
What, didn't you have no pie or fish and chips or something?
No,
Just chips?
on if we were having a fish tea, we would. But literally on a Saturday, I'd have pasty and chips every Saturday lunchtime. But 4 times, 5 times a week, our thing was get home from school, have tea early.
Right?
Yeah.
4:30.
Likes chips, doesn't he?
But that was his supper. He then say, and I'd have my supper, gravy and chips, curry sauce and chips,
peas and chips.
Just unbelievable. I thought, right, Gary, I wouldn't say gravy and chips is an unbelievable meal.
It is 5 nights a week.
I don't find that incredulous, though.
I do. The amount of chips that lad is eating.
But I think with Neville as well, because from the age of 18, he's had nutritionists and sports scientists telling him what to eat because he was playing for England and the world's best football team.
Yeah.
I think probably now the way he eats is radically different to how he ate when he was growing up. And he's looking back at his diet as a 15-year-old. He was a really sporty kid. Obviously, he's at United, and he was
cricketer too, wasn't he?
He was a very good cricketer, as was his brother. And I think his brother basically had to choose between playing for Lancashire or United.
Yes,
but the two of them were very good cricketers.
He'd have like pie and chips lunchtime.
Yeah.
Then he'd come home and have you see like cottage pie and chips.
Yeah.
And then it'd have like chips and gravy for supper.
Like it is. Like that is unbelievable.
It did sound fucking nice, man.
It does sound nice, but that's too many. I love chips, right? I will never criticise chips, but that's too many chips.
That's too many chips.
But on the flip side of that, him and Phil both went on to play for England, and Tracy went on to play netball for England as well. So
both,
maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the secret.
maybe it's about the chips.
Both slim lads who remain slim their whole lives. They're not
Absolutely. Love chips.
Yeah.
I love a chip though. Oh, see, I listened to that thinking, oh, that sounds so nice. Oh my god,
Gravy and chips is sensational.
cottage pie, man.
Yeah, I like
Cottage pie is meat and potatoes and chips.
Yeah,
Cottage pie and chips.
You got a mashed potato crust, isn't it?
Yeah. I like to double carb. So a double carb meal, like a lasagna and chips.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, please.
Cottage pie with peas, gravy,
lasagna
and chips.
is nice. I will eat that. Within 10 minutes of us finishing recording, I'm going to have that for my lunch.
Yeah.
I want that now as well.
Yeah.
Do you ever make chips at home?
Sometimes. Yeah.
I've never made chips in my life.
Yeah.
Mum used to make them all the time.
What, in a deep fat fryer?
Yeah. Well, no, in a deep metal saucepan.
Yeah.
With the rack that goes in it, the wire.
Oh,
sort
yeah,
of
yeah.
bright.
Yeah. We'll just
And then she'd reuse the oil. Then
Dash.
pour the oil pour the oil through a paper towel.
Oh.
And then you reuse that oil a few times.
Beautiful. Yeah, you can. It's fine.
Yeah. They were
Adds
nice.
flavour.
Mum's chips were fucking lovely.
I
as
had
well.
Sunday dinner yesterday. I had a beef dinner. I thought the French take the piss out of this. This is fucking great.
Yeah, I don't think they take the piss out of that. I think they take the piss because I think
Le roast beef.
Yeah, but it's that one sort of.
I think
got
that's
enough
also a mad cow
structure to it.
disease. That's also a mad
that's
cow
probably-
disease sort of reference as well.
Yeah, but I think most
Coming from a country that
British
eats
meals-
fucking birds alive, I wouldn't. I take their advice with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, and now I can't give
pinch
advice to
of
anyone
sal.
because I take dead mice to the cinema.
Have you seen that one with who's the chef? But it's like some French village where they still do that delicacy of like the
the ones where they're in the
drown.
dark.
They basically drown chicks in the dark in brandy
So
after they force feed them grain
I saw
Jesus
someone doing a
Christ.
bit of
and eat the
stand-up.
whole thing, bones and beaks and everything.
I saw someone doing a bit of stand-up about foie gras. I can't remember who it is, so I apologise. But basically, the logic was: how on earth do you find out that force-feeding grain to the bird to make it get psoriasis of the liver, therefore tastes nice and buttery? How do you get to that point? Are you already force-feeding them?
It's a common trait, especially in North American stand-up.
Yeah.
Like, who was the guy?
Yeah, who's the first guy who...
But
you look at French cooking and you think that about almost every dish.
yeah,
Do you think that with everything though? Like
it also often
aspirin.
leads to really funny routines. Like the first bloke to do a fucking parachute jump, the first bloke to do a hot air balloon. No thanks. Ben
Yeah, but
Partridge went up in an
he sort of
hot
worked
air
that out,
balloon
though.
last week. No,
who was the bloke
way.
who worked or woman worked out that if you chew the bark of a white willow,
Yeah.
it'll have pain relieving properties.
Yeah.
You must go around chewing all the different barks first. You must have done.
That's the bit. I find that stuff fascinating.
I reckon you were in such pain, you were so desperate, you were willing to try anything.
To chew a tree.
Chew any tree.
Yeah,
But there's thousands of different trees.
Yes.
yeah.
What are the chances, low I would say, of finding the solution?
Yeah.
It really makes
Gervais
you...
does that great bit of stand-up where you look at the way that the human race spread from East Africa.
Yeah.
And they end up in like Alaska or somewhere.
Yeah.
And the bloke's like, right, okay, stop. They're like, what? What's stopping here for? This is us.
I think we should live here.
It also makes you...
There's nothing here.
It makes you... You really change your opinion about the past and decisions made in the past when you realise that everyone was in pain. Like in Roman times, dentistry. So at the very least, your teeth would have been giving you chip. But if you'd hurt yourself, there'd be no... Even for like a headache, there'd be no paracetamol. If you'd broken...
Well, the injuries I've had in my life, right? So, broke my leg in 2 places.
Okay.
That would never have set. So I'd have been hobbled from a young age, right? Same with my ankle ligaments; they'd be gone. My teeth were fucked. I had braces as a kid, and I'd have loads of teeth out, so my mouth would be just a mess.
Yeah.
I've had loads of fillings, so I'd have no teeth left, and the ones that were, they would be fucked.
And they would be painful, so eating would be a pain in the
I've broken
ass.
my collarbone, so that would be really painful. I've broken all the bones in my hand. There's screws in my hand to keep the hand bone straight, so that wouldn't have happened. So I'd basically have a couple of claws for hands. I ran through a door when I was 2, landed on the glass, and to get stitched up. That would never have happened, so I probably wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have got that far anyway. I died at 2.
Yeah.
Fucking mad, isn't it?
Yeah. So when you consider that everyone was desperate for a bit of pain relief, you're like, bloody hell.
Eat
It's like when, like, the bog bodies, and they're able to analyse.
Fucking love bog bodies.
I'm fascinated. Tolland
fucking
man.
love bog bodies.
My daughter has porridge with flax seeds, like Tolland man.
Like Tolland man.
And in the morning, I say, "What do you want for your breakfast?" And she says, "Give me a Tolland." She refers to it as a Tolland.
Yeah. Those lot there, and
It's a very good show.
it's a great show. They got great chemistry, those lot. Ian Wright again. I just think he's.
Oh,
I love Ian Wright anyway. But he's just like I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Why
I don't
would
understand.
I don't get
Yeah.
it. Like my kids, Or even for tea, I'll say dinner.
Yeah. What I would say.
Wayne
is that
Rooney
when
has to keep saying, "It's a dinner. It's another word for a dinner."
It's just another word for
It's
it.
just another word for dinner.
But what I
No,
like
it's a
is
dinner. It's not cakes. It's like it's an evening
he's
meal.
got to-
But it's called tea.
It doesn't compute with Righty though, does it? He's like,
No,
what's it
no.
like toast and
But it's-
cake and.
But the fact that Righty can't compute it isn't computing with Neville either.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah,
why I
yeah,
quite
yeah.
like that show, is because Gary's trying to say the same thing to explain it over and over and over and over again. And he's got Wayne Rooney to translate for him.
But he explains things in the same way. I should work with a woman who
He just repeats them.
who explain things like he does.
Yeah.
Just to repeat things you don't understand the first time.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
You just go, no, you eat chips. You got chips when you come in, then you go out, and then you come back in and you have supper.